He must never know I survived. A story of fear, survival, and justice. The night was colder than usual. The streets were unusually quiet, as if the whole world had gone to sleep. I was only 7 years old, still innocent enough to believe in safety, yet old enough to recognize the heavy feeling of fear. I remember clutching my small backpack as I walked home from a friend's house. Suddenly, a car slowed beside me. A man leaned out of the window, his voice calm yet unsettling. "Do you need a ride home?" My heart sank. Something inside told me to run. But before I could, everything changed in an instant. When I opened my eyes again, I wasn't on the street anymore. I was lying on the cold ground, surrounded by tall trees. The damp smell of earth filled the air. Confused and terrified, I realized I had been taken deep into the woods. The figure of the man hovered over me. My body froze in fear. In those terrifying moments, I thought it was the end. Darkness filled my mind, and I slipped away into unconsciousness. But fate had a different plan. Hours later, I woke up again. My throat burned, my body was weak, and the cold soil pressed against my cheek. To my shock, the man was gone. He had left me there, believing that I wouldn't survive. That mistake became my miracle. Weak and trembling, I forced myself to move. I whispered to myself over and over, "Stay quiet, stay hidden. If he knows you're alive, he will return." The forest felt endless. Every shadow seemed like him. Every rustle of leaves felt like danger approaching. But I knew I had to keep moving. Slowly, I crawled toward the faint sound of running water. Perhaps a river or stream could lead me to safety. The hours of the night stretched like years. My small body ached. But inside me, a voice kept saying, "Don't give up. Survive." At last, as dawn broke, sunlight filtered through the trees. My eyes caught sight of a road cutting through the forest. Gathering the last of my strength, I stumbled onto the gravel and collapsed. Moments later, I heard the sound of a car approaching. Through blurred vision, I saw a woman rushing toward me. She wrapped me in her coat and cried out, "Oh my God, she's alive!" That day my life was saved, but survival was only the beginning of my story. Years went by, yet the memory of that night never left me. The fear lived in every knock on the door, every unfamiliar shadow, every dream that turned into a nightmare. He was free, living his life as though nothing had happened. While I carried invisible scars, society doubted me. The system failed me. Justice seemed far away, like something meant for others, but not for me. But I refused to remain silent. Even as people questioned my truth, I held on to it. I told my story again and again. I wanted the world to know what had been done, not just to me, but to many others who never got the chance to speak. Finally, years later, new evidence surfaced. This time, there was no escape for him. When the trial began, I stood in the courtroom, trembling yet unbroken. For the first time, my voice became stronger than my fear. I looked at him and told the truth, clear, undeniable, and powerful. Justice arrived slowly, painfully, but at last it came, and with it, a piece of my freedom returned. Even today, when I close my eyes, I sometimes hear those words echoing in my heart. He must never know I survived. Because my survival was my secret shield. It was my second chance. I am not just a victim. I am the girl who lived when I wasn't supposed to. I am proof that even in the darkest night, hope can still shine. And to anyone listening now, remember this. Survival is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of a new one. Narrator, if this story touched you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real stories of courage, survival, and hope.